All right. I'm going to walk you through how you're going to do kind of like this lab tools review. This is just looking at lab tools again. I want to make sure that you have plenty of practice using them. I know you're not getting to actually, get your hands on some of them, but I want you to see pictures of them, understand what they're used for. I tried to cover every bit of information I could think of that might be confusing or might be something that you'll need to know. This is also some example questions that we're going to be kind of doing some of them together, and I'm going to have you answer some on your own. So I guess let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so you'll open this document up. It's in your Google Classroom. It's your virtual lab tools review is what it's titled. It's a Google slideshow. Okay, and then you'll just read the slides. Okay, the first one talks about mass. So you'll read through this. It says mass is measured using a pan balance, triple beam balance, or digital scale. Mass is measured in grams, milligrams, and kilograms. Okay. Mass refers to how heavy or light an object is. Two boxes can look the same, be the same size, but have different masses. So mass has to do with if something is heavy or light, okay? And we're going to use this right here is our triple beam balance. This is an old looking pan balance, and then this would be a digital scale. So the one that we're going to mostly focus on is going to be a triple beam balance, but we do see a pan balance and occasionally the other, the digital scale. So here what you're going to do is you're going to look at these pictures and then answer or fill in the blanks. Okay, everywhere it says type here or it has the double zeros, you're going to be filling in. So this first question, number 1, at the top it says try it. Each object has a different mass. Use the balances to determine the mass of each object. And kind of in the background right here, here's our triple beam balance. We have an apple, I believe it is, that we're finding the mass of. Here are the triple beams that are blown up really big so that you can see, and what you'll do is you'll add up these numbers. So you start off with the hundreds. The hundreds beam is right here, and it's pointing at 200. So you'll come over here, you'll click on the type here, you'll erase that out, type in 200. The tens beam is right here. You'll come over, let's see, it's pointing at 30. So you're going to come over to the tens, type in 30 right there. Then the ones, some of this is kind of difficult to see, but we're going to say it's pointing at 4. Okay, if you say like 4.2 or something like that, I wouldn't count it wrong because it is really difficult to see, but we're going to go ahead and just say 4. Okay, so then you'll add those up, 234. And notice there's a small g here that stands for grams, and then there's another place right here. It says the mass of the apple is blank grams. Okay, so the total you get here, the 234, is also going to go in this blank. All right, so that's how you do that one. This next one is pretty easy. It is, I believe, a lemon that you're finding the mass of. This is a pan balance. And with a pan balance, we're going to add up these gram weights. So you'll type in each one of these gram weights. It has the totals on each, on the side of them. You're going to type each one into one of these blanks, and you're going to add them up and get your total grams. So we'd put 50 and then 25 and then 5 and then 1, and we'd get our total, and then you'd fill in these triple zeros also right here with the same mass. Okay, so we're writing our answer right here, and then we're also completing the sentence with our answer. Okay, make sure you're not leaving those blank. The next one, on questions like this that are multiple choice, what I did is I gave you a blue circle, kind of a circle or oval off to the side, and all you'll do is click on that circle, and then you can drag it over to your correct answer. So whichever one you think is the correct answer, if you think it is A, then that's what you do. If you think it's B, you'll click here. If you think it's C, just make sure it's clear which one you're choosing. If you put it in between two, I'm not going to know what you're trying to click or choose, and I don't want to count it wrong. So make sure that you're being very clear on what you're circling there. Okay, if you are having trouble with it, you can always like insert a text box and type a letter, but you don't have to. You can just drag the blue circle. So you're going to look at the picture, and then you're going to answer the question. Now, some of these may be a little bit difficult or a little bit confusing, so I want you to take your time on them and make sure that you're reading carefully and you know what it's asking, okay? It says, look at the picture below. The eyedropper has blank. So we look at this picture and it looks like it's balanced out perfectly evenly. So we have our eyedropper and here's our ice cube. Does it have less gravity than the ice cube? The same mass as the ice cube? The same volume as the ice cube? Or less mass than the ice cube? Think about what we just read about. Think about what a pan balance measures. Okay? And look at how, if it's even or not, okay, in order to find the answer to that. Then we have this one. It says, which of the following tools would help you determine the mass of a fossil? Okay, and then it gives you some choices. Volume. You're going to read about volume. The thing with volume that we're looking at is we're looking at using a graduated cylinder to find the volume of an irregular shaped object. This is just more practice on that. So you can read this information and then you're going to work these out. Several students had trouble with this because they did not read the complete instructions on how to figure this out. So what you do is you take the measurement. If you haven't, by the way, if you have not watched the YouTube video, that was a lab tools review video that I just put together several YouTube videos of people using different lab tools. Go back and rewatch that because this shows a bolt being measured this way and that will help you out a lot. Okay, so you're going to take the measurement of the liquid in the graduated cylinder. So right here we have 20 for the house key. Then we drop the key in and we take a new measurement. So it looks like it's about 35, I'm thinking. 35 minus 20. Okay, 35 minus 20 is going to give you 15. So right here, we would back this out, and the volume of a house key would be 15. This mass right here, ignore that. That's just there to throw you off, I guess, because the mass does not matter in this case. What we are figuring out is volume. So what you need to look at are the numbers on these graduated cylinders. Okay, so you're going to figure out the house key, the marbles, the paperclip, and the crayon. This is good practice for you. You'll see this stuff again. Okay, and again, if you don't understand how to do it, please go back and watch that YouTube video because I had a great example. And if you're still confused, please email me or go back and reread in your notes about using lab tools. Okay, temperature. On temperature, something that a lot of students did not understand was that we use Celsius, okay? In science class, we're going to use the Celsius side of the thermometer. On this picture right here, we have a side that has a C and a side that has an F. The F is the side that we hear the weatherman talk about in the United States, and we also go to the doctor or we have mom or the nurse or whatever check our temperature. They're going to tell us in Fahrenheit. In science class, we use Celsius, okay? That's what we'll be using all year long is Celsius. You need to understand that that's what we're using. And then you'll need to know how to read a thermometer. So on this, it says try it. For number 1, color in the thermometers to represent the temperature being described in each picture. For number 2, use the thermometer to answer the question. So right here we have these red boxes. You're going to stretch, you click on it, and then you're going to stretch it to put it at the right temperature, okay? So you're going to stretch it out until it gets to be the right temperature and where it should mark. Now, it's not going to be exact because this paper is a little bit crooked, but you can get it pretty close, okay? Like, obviously, this is not 100 if I have it like that. So you'll want to mark this at 100. This one, you're going to mark it 0. We'll do the same thing right here, move it to where it's at 0. And then right here, it says what temperature does the thermometer show. So this thermometer is what you're going to look at, okay? And then you're going to read about lab safety, and you have a couple of questions, okay? You're going to have to kind of think about this. You know, what would you need for that? This one, you need to read carefully and think about what you would do. And then down here, we have various lab tools, okay? You're going to have to use some subtraction for this, okay? Some of these things are multi-step questions, okay? This is like using a broken ruler. You're going to have to look at that again. Okay, and this one right here is the one I was thinking of just a minute ago when I was telling you how to read carefully. Make sure that you read carefully, okay, and think about what you would need for this, okay? All right, so if you have any questions about this, let me know. Hopefully, the notes that I added in here along with the questions is going to give you enough practice. Tomorrow you will have some task cards that you'll do. There won't be any kind of notes or explanation that goes along with them. It's just going to be questions that are similar to some of these others that you'll go through and answer, and I believe it's on a Google form. So that'll be what you do tomorrow. Today, go through this, take your time, make sure that you turn it in when you're done, and make sure you understand it. If you're confused about something, after you go through this and read it, and you're still confused on mass, or you're still confused on figuring volume or temperature or some kind of lab safety or tools or something, please email me and let me know and see what I could do to clear it up. Thank you.